it's MCOC news time. I'm glad to be doing another one. I didn't think I'd have as much stories to do another one, but there's plenty of stories out there. They just need finding, kind of trailing through the forums, and also people sending me stuff, so that's cool. So yeah, let's dive into another Marvel Contest of Champions news. Our first story is all about cheating in Alliance Wars. This is something that is really disappointing to see, and there's a couple of stories, including this one, about Alliance Wars in general. But to see cheating in Alliance Wars isn't particularly brilliant. And a lot of people do take to the forums to kind of communicate with Kabam and say, hey, look, we found some people that we feel cheated, or maybe that people aren't being exposed for cheating. It's disappointing that we're not able to see it. The developers aren't able to see that. It's kind of step in and go, hey, we need to help out these other guys because these guys are cheating. Either way, it's important to see that these are compensated with regards to problems. And if you do have experienced an issue with regards to what you feel to be cheating in violation of the terms of service, do get in contact with Kabam via the ticketing system first. And if you have no joy, then kind of raise a forum post for this. Kabam Sophia kind of like raises a response against this. So yeah, hopefully you're not at a loss when it comes to being compensated against any wrongdoing from an opponent alliance. That obviously is going to affect your Alliance War seasons if you're being stagnated by not being able to advance. So you do need those victory points. Otherwise, that enemy alliance, what they've done is they've not just kind of like shot themselves in the foot, they've also kind of punished you, which shouldn't be a case that they should punish you in any case. But if you're stagnating, like I said, in Alliance War seasons, you're not getting those multiplier points, and then it's not propelling you upwards, so therefore you're not being competitive. It can be really painful, so hopefully I never have to come across it again. And obviously make sure to report any wrongdoing, and at the same time, you know, hopefully you don't experience any problems like that. Next up, I'm kind of keeping with the scheme of things with regards to Alliance Wars. This great video was done by Brian Grant. If you're not familiar, and you should all be familiar with Brian, a contest champion, he does this great video which kind of is something that I would have liked to have done a video on, but I thought I'm not going to kind of like record something similar. But he kind of shares a lot of the opinions that I do have about Alliance Wars currently, in that it's not my favorite game mode. Brian goes into great depth about talking about the aspects of energy consumption. He goes into like the idea about anxiety, about the aspects of like letting down your teammates and kind of overthinking the situation, you know, dying too much and the implications that it has. Loads of different kind of micro details, a lot of things that a lot of players are experiencing. With regards to the rise of Alliance War seasons, it has meant that players are more into this game mode based on the drive to get those rewards at the end of it. And you know, to start off with, like, our alliance was a bit kind of shaky about it and we didn't really do too well. And now that we're really getting into it and really kind of like fighting hard, we're doing a lot better. We're winning a lot more, and that is really good. But at the same time, having those kind of early jitters, and also maybe not a lot of people that were overly interested in being competitive about this, it just doesn't kind of like balance up too well. But thankfully now that a lot of alliances and a lot of people now understand what they want to achieve from Alliance Wars, and especially Alliance Wars seasons, and at the end of it, I think that you'll either find a lot of people at the end of Alliance Wars seasons either jumping ship or kind of like changing what they do, maybe kind of having a look at their life plans, maybe even looking at the aspect of the game, because it becomes more of a demand to do Alliance Wars than it does seem to be more of a kind of like, hey, well, we'll run it for 3 days a week and see where we end up. But it's just like everyday grind. Either way, I strongly recommend going over to this video and giving it a watch. Some great stuff and points, as well as improvement ideas for maybe the following season for Kabam to look at, is in this video, so go and take a look. Link is in the description. Next up is a reminder about your Marvel Insider activities. Remember, there's a lot of new activities that come in once in a while, especially at the moment. We've got Jessica Jones and a few other things with regards to comic books to watch. And especially make sure that once you've completed things like beginner, heroic and normal, to go over and kind of say that your points have been done, and therefore, you know, put in your title, and then you're able to get those lovely points. And what do points make? That's right, prizes. Yes, that was a good transition, wasn't it? Yeah, so points mean prizes, and there's 3 things currently on offer for people that are just starting the game, being beginners. An ultimate bundle, and also there's something with regards to Sentinel on offer. These rewards have kind of greatly improved from how they used to be on Marvel Insider, but obviously these are kind of like things where don't make a big song and dance about it. And when I say song and dance, I mean if you're not getting points, don't overly complain. As I said previously, I got banned because I made a big deal about not getting points until they started like checking up on things. So you keep it on the low key, but do make sure sometimes to understand you may not get all the points. So it's always best to do the little activities. And these little activities, they kind of range from different things. Mainly it's reading or watching trailers. There's a big thing at the moment with, like I said, Jessica Jones, and also the comic book stuff has been refreshed. Make sure you kind of log back daily just to see if things have changed. And I'll make sure to cover plenty of kind of changes and improvements to Marvel Insider in the coming weeks and months. Next story is all about enemy AI, and in particular the way it interacts with you when you're fighting. In this post, which is very fascinating, it looks at the kind of game controls of like homing in on you. So where one enemy placement is to where you are when you're fighting. And the way that it is maybe considered a little bit more aggressive, and has this changed over time. And this is what this post kind of identifies. A lot of people are commenting in this post and kind of saying that the way that they're playing, the enemy interacts in such an unusual way than it usually did, especially in things like Act 5, and talking about multiple dashes, and also the way that the enemy kind of chains but then dashes out of it. Yeah, very interesting indeed, and it's well worth you giving it a read. We then got a comment from KabamZibbit, who said that they haven't changed anything in particular, and obviously there is a lot of kind of video evidence, and it was like saying, oh, you know, don't take it off topic, keep it on topic. But this did meet a lot of kind of like frosty responses when it came to kind of addressing what KabamZibbit had to say. Yanis X in particular kind of comments that KabamZibbit has kind of missed a lot of the points that were raised in this forum post, and they are very interesting kind of like aspects and kind of comments to it. I don't know, sometimes I feel that I can agree with what people are saying, other times I feel that it goes quite well. But I do think that there are aspects, again, that maybe like Kabam see but don't see. Are they telling us the whole truth? Is there transparency there? There's a lot of things that opens various questions to the community about this. Some people, like I said, may experience this, other people may not. So as always, the question goes over to you. What do you think about this? Do you think that there has been alterations to the enemy AI? Is it a lot more different than it used to be? Is it fine, but you haven't really noticed it? What are your thoughts? Go over to the forum post and have your say, or go into the comment section and have your say as well. To be sure. And our last story is all about no Patrick's Day event, you know. Some people were saying about this. Obviously, we had like red themed stuff for Valentine's Day. Why isn't there anything green, like a green type thing? You know, an ultimate crystal would have been cool, a green ultimate crystal, or maybe something in particular, a science orientated thing. People saying about Science Catalyst. I mean, I'm not overly bothered by it. It would be cool to kind of for them to recognize patron saints, but I suppose the difficulty is in most countries there's a lot of patron saints. In England it's St. George, obviously St. Patrick, and I'm sure there's loads of ones in other countries. So yeah, do they start doing that? Do they like national holiday days? What is the lay of the land with it? Should they just stick to international days? But either way, it would have been nice to see it, but I just don't think, I think we can go a bit too overboard with this, but it would make the calendars a lot more exciting and interesting to have these kind of micro calendars within it, rather than have to wait, you know, certain times of the year for like Halloween orientated, Valentine's orientated, Chinese New Year orientated. Where do we draw the line, I think, is a question there. Your thoughts in the comment section, or put it on this forum post. So that's been your Marvel Contest of Champions news for Monday, the 19th of March 2018. It's the start of the week, so hopefully you're kind of really feeling excited. I've now got to dig out my car so I can go to work for Tuesday. So wish me luck, and at the same time, be safe, whatever you're doing and wherever you are. I've been RichTheMan. Like, subscribe, put the notifications on so you see Marvel Contest of Champions news when it pops up. And as always, I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.